Since Leo is kind of notorious for being the center of attention or seeking to be the center of attention, I wanted him to just emanate confidence, and try to have his head back in almost a cackle, but not necessarily. Do you know, I might have accidentally made Leo the antagonist of the group. Although, who is to say all of them can't be the antagonist of the group if, on a bad day? The more I think about the design and the more I look at him, I just kind of think he's like if Scar from The Lion King actually succeeded, or instead of having a ploy to become king, he actually was next in line and he became king type of thing. That's kind of what the image I'm getting, and I'm okay with that. So since trying to make sure the purple light is actually hitting the face, even though it probably it might have, so the bottom of the chin as well as the lower areas of the cheeks. I'm giving some purplish light to kind of accentuate them from the rest of his face and make sure that they make the face look three-dimensional. Now the ball, I've decided to have some glow come from that as well, because it looks more interesting and it's easier to fix the black line with. So I gave him a bunch of rings because he is extra and he is a king, and he is very much so, look at me, I'm rich, I have a ton of rings. I'm not allowed to say that, oops. So yeah, added those in. The jewels themselves will get more lighting and detailing later on. The shoes, even though the shoes are probably the darkest tinted piece of the entire image, they're also going to get the most lighting because they're literally right on top of the light source. Now, the fur, my reference picture isn't from this angle, and you can't really see the fur that well, or the way that it's moving. So I'm trying to kind of guesstimate how the fur would be moving, because you know how humans have a parting. It's kind of like that with the fur. I don't know if it's real fur or fake fur. Didn't really need to consider that for this drawing, so I do not know. What I do know is for the shading, I'm using yellowy, orangey, dark orange, dark, maybe almost maroon or burgundy-ish color. It's like a reddish brown, and I'm just using that for everywhere, and then I'm going to go back in. I'm doing that with a lighter tone, and then I'm going back in with a darker one to further accentuate each strand or clump, and then we're going back in to add some shading, hopefully on a different layer. I say hopefully because my computer was acting up a bit, so I can't actually see what my layers were doing in the recording, and it's been a while since I've done it. So I'm going to add some extra detailing that would be caused from the light, which is helpful. Any sort of differentiation in color or tone that I can reasonably add in is a good thing by my books. So the fur outlining the train will have the most lighting because, again, it's the closest. And I was going to start shading the train of the coat. Quickly realized I still didn't know what to do with the symbol. And that is an important thing to figure out. That is an important thing. I also came to the realization, maybe I want the symbol to glow and be another light source. I'm not sure. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I do not know. So instead of figuring something that as important as a secondary light source, we're going to skip that and shade the hair. So I'm adding some extra strands in to make the hair look a bit more realistic, and so that the hair looks a bit lighter than it currently is. And as well as lighter strands, I'm also adding in darker strands, some more orangish colors as well, since hair generally, like, if you've been out a lot, some of your hair gets bleached and is lighter than the rest of it, but not that light, so there's some variation in there. I'm also going backwards I'm flipping it. Most of the time I have it flipped so that it's the direction that I usually work with. The face is not sideways, so it's easier for me to visualize what I need to do, and that's how I am used to seeing everything else. And then once I'm finished, or once I figure out, maybe it would be a good idea to check how this looks from the actual angle. So we go back to the actual angle. And yes, so we're going to leave it there for now, and then I'm going to hit the sketchbooks and try and figure out what the symbol on the coat is going to be. It's going to be a sun symbol. It's just what is it, and how do I want it to work? But yes, have a wonderful day. See you later, and goodbye.